Built by Keith, number 1200. This is the most famous video of all time showing how Evote.one reverses the course of the Lucifer worshippers. It's all based upon we pick the project, we pick every leader in the world. This is the site of a $40 billion robbery. 1201, built by Keith. This is the bottom line. You, we, God's people, now self-liberate yourselves. You have every moral responsibility to solve your own local, internal, family, community, business problems by demanding that all criminals turn themselves in. That is manhuntall.com. I am the wealthiest person in the entire world. I have modeled everything after King Solomon, Jesus Christ, and all the previous messianic messengers sent by God who work with God and Mother Earth on behalf of all mankind. The most fundamental is the old tribal system of Evote.one, and store and forward through the world's last open public shared information of everything called wisdom of knowledge. We even use the word Eden, Ecology, Divinity, Education Network, so that you know what everyone else is thinking. That means that now you can legally and peacefully pass judgment on everyone about everything required to unify the world as one community. The single New World system is unocracy.org, which is total decentralization of all the wealth in the world, and all the authority goes back to the individual person. It's modeled after an upside-down Christmas tree where you are the Southern Star, multi-level proxies above you. Everyone focuses on the problem above, including the most prevalent peace symbol, because everyone needs something to focus on. Focus on the needs of others, which is the Great Commission and the Golden Rule. Not the Golden Rule that says he who has the gold makes all the rules. Current society is all about worshiping idols and worshiping Lucifer, selling their souls, your souls, and everyone else's, about get rich quick. And they have legalized embezzlement and theft and all the vice, sins, and crimes of the world because that's where the money is. And the command authority, so the gods above all gods, who are the false gods, actually do control you. They control the marketplaces. They control everything about transportation, everything about communication, called the news media, everything about the pricing and the regulations and the restrictions, and who is allowed to go to war. Everyone's allowed to go to war, except the politicians and the super wealthy would never put themselves on the front line. They're using you as cannon fodder and as the very last protein when the lone survivors and the last people left on Earth now eat whoever's left because the food supply will be gone. So we reversed it with solutionfood.org. Solutionmilitary.com is only local National Guard and humanitarians. And we use the military, our military around the world, as one international military that has no one controlling them. George Washington specifically said in 1787, the military will always be under local civilian control. Why am I here today? Because I have been persecuted, threatened, and almost killed, and robbed and defrauded and constantly threatened over the return of my very own portfolio of Fortune1.org that was Creator Keith, was built by Keith, and was registered many, many decades ago as your new overseers of multi-billionaires who give everything, 100% of our net worth and all of our assets, but particularly our wisdom and knowledge, to teach you how to be independent, sovereign citizens. On December the 20th, No, today's December the 18th, 2024. I'm heading back up north. My work is done in Atlanta because nobody wants my multi hundreds of millions and billions of dollars because they're too busy thinking only about themselves, which is why I have recruited Miracles out of Asheville. I've recruited 8.2 billion people to join Unocracy.org and Fortune1.org. Unocracy.org is one society. Fortune1.org is the overseers over yourself. The richest, brightest, smartest, problem-solving experts in world history. Contact us directly. Our phone numbers and contact information is all over, and we will come to the place of greatest need to host, mediate PeaceSummit2020.com. And of course, we're taking 1% of all criminal assets seized using our methods and our computers and our databases to prolong and forward the human race as no longer predatory creatures who want to kill each other and take advantage of each other, including Tom Hegg in Las Vegas, who obviously has some of the information on Robert D. Rose and a few others from the dark web. See, the dark web are called black hatters for one specific reason. They're the most evil people in the world who are ruthless, who are the corporate raiders, they are the banksters, they are the cyber criminals, they're the terrorists, they're the mass murderers, they're the genocide-focused people, because that's what Lucifer has taught them how to do. Who are the Lucifers? Most of you, but you won't admit it. So the value of the churches is to come together with ChristDomain.org. My company will pay out to anybody who shows that they can actually earn a living on their own. We'll educate them, teach them how to transfer pirated wealth back to your community, called Birds of Feather Flock Together, for homesteading of Future City.life, which combines solution housing, solution education, and of course, solution business. God's business has always been for the human race to advance itself, to become smarter and technically empowered so that we can indeed explore the rest of the universe. The only other person of true merit is Elon Musk. Everyone else is putting all their faith in one president, but no one's talking to the congressmen. No one's talking to the corporate executives, particularly Gary Rollins of Rollins Energy Systems, who we are buying out to create EcologyMining.org, which solves every one of the world's problems by underground 100% infrastructure, high pressure water, plasma lasers, and also vibration rather than explosives, and the stupid grinding, repetitive of, oh, just trust them, which is the multi-level marketing Ponzi schemes that's been professionalized by the con artists, claiming, oh, we'll take care of multiplying your money. Oh, easy returns. We promise 30% returns on your Bitcoins. We promise, but they disappear as soon as the losses occur. And of course, they always take a percentage of only your profits. They don't pay you for your losses. Have you noticed that? Common sense. So we wrote godsconstitution.org that does everything at one time to transition from the old Lucifer Antichrist system to the God, Mother Earth focused system of Unocracy.org. Universal in nature and unbiased, as we also chop up all the news media, which is shown as solutionmedia.org, and usnews1.org, which is really world news. We've consolidated all the power and the authority and the assets back to you, the individual. 8.2 billion, we, God's children. When you think of yourself as being dust to dust, ashes to ashes, that you're mortal, that you're going to die, well, don't you like to prolong your life so you can actually contribute to the well-being and benefit and wellness and happiness and self-sustainability of all your fellow earthlings? Stop being bigots and racists. Stop preying on each other like people like Charles Rogers and Dennis Chernanog and Kathy Doobie and so many other people that I have met. And the worst was always Robert D. Rose of DuncanClaim.org. Why do I have to keep going after my own $4.3 million insurance? Because I lost everything at DuncanClaim.org and have turned it all over to the FBI, the Attorney General, the governors, the mayors, the FBI, the military, Attorney General, the public, the press. Yes, everyone. And yet all I get is, oh, too good. So we're going to photocopy, no, we're going to print all these solutions and mass mail them out to the governors. This indeed is exactly what it does. God's Constitution destroys all international crime lords forever. Join us today, as the other systems are teammoneymachine.com, free public education. We will have free transportation, free communication, not free, but almost free food and water. But Solution Safe Water really does give you free water. And we'll now harness Mother Earth and clean up the polluters of the world so none of the banksters and stock market brokers and other criminals and terrorists can ever manipulate you ever again, all through the use of Evote.one, 4, it's actually 8 constitutional complete replacement economic satisfying, supplied, self-sustainable commandment laws of God's Constitution.org. And for those of you that hate the word God, you hate the word Lucifer, you hate the word crime, you hate the word wars, well, just use the word love, all others. And you'll finally understand why God sent me here as the richest person in the world and why I've been persecuted and threatened. Simple by writing, weapon of mass destruction has always been hearsay. He said, she said. Exactly what 140, in fact, thousands of people have done against me to destroy Unocracy.org. From October 3rd, 2011 until January 28th, 2014, the USA government at individual level, particularly Attorney General Robert Bradham and Attorney General Sally Yates and Sherry Duncan and Bob and Robert Bradham and so many others, decided the only way to silence me forever was to force drug me with a single judge signing a court order that I must be drugged indefinitely so that I would stop saying the most obvious God's truth. I've been defrauded, I've been robbed, I've been persecuted, particularly by my very own family, Sherry Duncan, Kyle Duncan, Matthew Duncan, Doug Duncan, and then it became Paige Duncan Collins. Call us directly today. We're heading up north. Where are we headed to? Well, God knows, and I know, and a few other key people. Call us directly so the criminals will no longer be able to cyber hack and cyber track and destroy you and your families and churches and communities. 5steps.life. Never happens again. If someone violates your rights, Article 3 of this one publication, and there's our news group. It's now usnews1.org, and that describes on the back panel exactly what this is. And the big one is the peacesummit2020.com. At one time, will we the people decide to live as peacemaking, problem-solving. This document implicates everyone, including Ross Grisham of Canton on Norfolk, Virginia 411 CR 112. This implicates the public pretender Phoenix Harris forever. 1171 was dismissed July 15th.